All right, so we're going to start standing with our feet hip distance apart. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls coming forward. Taking this time to anchor down into your feet, feeling the length of your spine, and allowing that crown of the head to really reach tall towards the ceiling. As you inhale into those back ribs, and exhale to close those front ribs down and together. Go ahead and start to roll down through the spine, letting the head be heavy, arms be heavy. Good, and then sequencing on up, sliding those shoulders down and back. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, head nod, rolling down through the spine. You can soften the knees here a little bit. Good. And then slowly sequencing all the way back up. Stretching the arms out to the side and up. Interlace the fingers. We're going to come into our side bends. Think about keeping the hips stable as you're side bending from the wrists. Head is going to stay in between the arms. So we're really thinking about moving from the spine and finding length from side to side. Good, and we'll do that one more time. Good. From there, we're going to take our hands behind the head, coming into some rotation so the pelvis is staying stable. And we're going to rotate the ribs against the pelvis. Good. You can gently press the back of the head into your hands. Good. Anchoring down in towards your feet. And leading from the ribs. Pulling one rib back. Good. And we'll do that one more time. Good. From here, I'm going to lift those arms up to shoulder height. We're going to come into some calf raises. So rising up onto the balls of the feet. Good. And as you're lifting here, think about lifting straight up towards the ceiling rather than letting your weight shift forward. Root down into the center of the balls of the feet and keep those ankles nice and strong. So we don't want to see those ankle bones roll out. You can also think about wrapping the glutes here, giving them a little bit of a squeeze. Lifting up through that low back as the front of the ribs are closing down and together. Watch the shoulders aren't creeping up towards the ears, keeping them down the back. And we'll just do a few more here, warming up through our feet and warming up through our ankles. Good. Gonna take it down onto all fours. Stacking those shoulders over the wrists, knees underneath of the hips. Hollowing in those low abs, you're gonna lift your right hand and your left knee just to a hover off of your mat. Alternating from side to side. And before you lift hand and knee up off of your mat, engage through that core. Keep that belly button pulling in towards the back of the spine. And imagine you're in between two panes of glass here so that you're not shifting your weight from side to side. That's it. Good. Keeping the head in line with the rest of the spine. Good, as we do this for 3, 2, and 1. From there, we're gonna bring it into our cat-cow, so just moving through that spine. Good. As we inhale, reach that breastbone forward and up into your extension, tailbone lifting up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, you're gonna flex and round, push the floor away as you open up in between those shoulder blades. Inhale to extend, reaching the breastbone up, tailbone lifts. Good. And exhale to round. Good. If you're ready to pick it up a notch, please feel free to tuck your toes under here, be on the balls of the feet and hover the knees up as you continue to flex and extend that spine. That's it. Focusing on that hollowing, that scooping of your low abdominals as you move. Good. And then from there, we're going to take our hips, sink them back towards the heels. Stretch the arms forward towards the wall in front of you. If it feels better, you can widen your knees here so your knees are wider than the shoulders as we come down into a child's pose. Let's focus on the breath coming into the back ribs. So you inhale to expand those back ribs and exhale to sink those hips heavy towards the heel. Stretch the arms a little bit more forward towards the wall in front of you so the elbows start to lift up off of your mat. Connect into the palm and really press down into your index finger and thumb joint. And imagine those forearms are getting squeezed towards one another as you keep the tips of the shoulder blades drawing down the back. Good. Taking one more deep breath. And then from there, we're going to come onto our back. So just lying down onto your back, knees bent, feet hip distance apart, arms just resting down by your side. We'll be starting with a bridge, so slide those heels directly underneath of the knees. We'll take an inhale and exhale, pubic bone towards the navel as you sequence on up into that bridge. And then articulating down. Pushing down into those feet as you lift the hips, wrapping through the glutes and actively press the arms down towards the floor. Stretching through that low back. That's it. If you want to lift those arms up towards 90, up towards the ceiling, you're more than welcome to. Good, and as we're sequencing up, really encourage the inner lines of the thighs to spiral down towards the floor. Focusing on that glute engagement, squeezing the glutes as you're lifting the hips. Good, and then rolling all the way down. We're going to take our hands behind the hat, interlace the fingers. Elbows wide. We're coming into an ab curl here. We're going to inhale, exhale, head nod. Sorry, it's not on the screen, but you're just doing an ab curl. That's it. And then inhale to sequence down. So in our ab curl here, we want to bend at the tip of the shoulder blades. So we're just lifting the shoulder blades up. Good. We're going to focus on those ribs closing down and together and hollowing those low abs. Our pelvis is staying in neutral. So make sure as you're curling up that your tailbone isn't flipping into your imprint. Keep those sit bones reaching nice and long. One more time, let's curl it up and hold it there for 3. Hollow in those low abs, really scoop them in. 2, and for 1, lowering it down. Stretch those arms down by your side. We're going to inhale to prepare and exhale to lift our legs up into tabletop. Squeeze those thighs together. We're going to inhale, exhale, tap your right foot down towards the floor and inhale to lift it up. We're going to alternate here. And as the weight of the legs are coming down, you want to keep those ribs knitting down and together. You can even imagine that the front of the hip bones are squeezing to the front of the ribs. Hinging at the hip so the thigh is moving away from the rib cage. That's it. Think about your foot reaching a little bit further away from you, Sandra, as you're lowering, like lower it further away. Yeah, I'm talking to you. That's it. Yeah. Even further, Sandra, you can go further. There you go. That's it. Good. And lowering down. Let's stretch the arms out to a T position and lift both legs up to 90. Squeeze those thighs together. We're going to rotate the hips over towards the right and then bring them back to center and then over to the left. So we're alternating. As we're rotating, keep those shoulder blades nice and heavy towards your mat. So one shoulder blade isn't going to lift up. Both will stay down. Think about rotating from your hips and your knees are staying together. So if you see one knee stagger in front of the other, that means you're moving more from the legs. We're looking to get into the obliques here. So keep those knees together and the waistline is long. So as you're rotating to the left, make sure that left side isn't getting shorter, okay? If you want to amp this up, please feel free to extend the legs so the legs are straight the whole time, okay? If that's too much, just keep the knees bent, okay? That's it. Good. And then lowering down. We're going to take those hands back into head cradle. Coming back into our ab curls, we're going to inhale, exhale to curl. And as we come into our ab curl, we're going to lift one leg up into tabletop. And as we lower our ab curl down, you're going to lower your foot down onto the floor. So we are going to alternate from side to side. As the leg is lifting, keep that tailbone reaching long, okay? And make sure our pelvis isn't shifting from side to side. That's it. We're bending at the tip of the shoulder blades. Make sure those shoulder blades are wrapping around the ribs. Yeah, really reach through those elbows, Victoria. Reach through the elbows, bring them a little narrower. Yeah, there you, yeah. That's it. Perfect. Good. Nice. Making sure one side isn't hinging, keeping it nice and long. That's it. Keep closing those ribs. Awesome. All right, we're going to come back into a bridge position. So arms are down by your side. You're going to push down into your feet and you're going to lift your hips up. And then this time, instead of sequencing, you're just going to come down as one unit, tap your pelvis down and then lift it straight up again. So hinging down one unit, tap it down and then lift it up. Again, if you would like to lift those arms up to 90, you are more than welcome to do so. That's it. Let's really focus on those ribs staying closed, okay, and that cinch of your waist. Notice your feet here. Are you pressing into the four corners of the foot? Big toe joint, little toe joint, inner and outer heel. Good. Let's do that one more time. You're going to lift. Now keep the hips lifted. Lower them down just an inch, and we're going to do little pulses up. Just squeeze those glutes, little pulses up and up and up. Keep those inner thighs heavy. That's it. And then bring it all the way down. Awesome. From here, we're coming into a sideline. So let's all lie onto your right side. You can bend that right elbow and use that as your pillow. Both legs are going to be straight. Legs are long. We're going to lift our top leg up just to hip height with a flexed foot and then point that foot to lower it down. Good. Before you lift the leg up, wrap that glute, okay? Engage the glute before you lift the leg. Good. Let's check out that bottom rib. Make sure that bottom rib is lifted a little bit off of your mat so it's not just resting there. Option, take your top arm, lift it up towards the ceiling. No need to lift that leg any higher than your hip, okay? We don't want to get into a side bending action here. Wrap the glute and lift. Both waistlines are staying nice and long as we move. Good. Think about getting more length as you're lowering. Point the foot and reach it across the room. From there, we're going to bring it into clam. So let's bend the knees, squeeze the heels together. Heels are in line with your glutes. You're going to lift that top knee up and then squeeze it back down. Now, as the top knee is lifting, make sure you're not rolling back, okay? So your top knee is lifting, but you're going to keep rolling that top hip almost forward. Again, notice your bottom rib. Keep that bottom rib lifted off of your mat. That's it. Good. All right, let's take this into a little bit of a smaller range now. So lift to your max, hold it there, release it ever so slightly, and then pulse it up. So you're just gonna work that end range. That's it. The video isn't doing that, but let's just do little pulses here for some fun. Good. Really targeting through that glute. Lift it up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering it all the way down. We're coming into our side bridge now. So you're going to stack your shoulder over your elbow. And as we exhale, we're going to lift our hips up. That's it. And then lowering down. Now, if you need a little bit more support, you can take that free hand and place it onto the mat in front of you, into the floor in front of you. If you're looking for a little bit more, please feel free to come into a full side plank, either stacking the legs or staggering them. As you're lifting, think about that top hip lifting up into, or the bottom hip, sorry, lifting up into the top one. That's it. Do wrap your glutes here. Check in with the ribs, make sure they're closed. Good, and really lift out of that bottom shoulder, okay? If you're getting into your neck, look down at your elbow. Just look down at that forearm, and that will help take tension out of your neck. That's it. Good, and lowering all the way down. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch to the other side. So we're gonna do those 3 exercises on our other side. So we'll swing our legs around, using your bottom arm as your pillow. That's it, flexing the foot to lift it up. Good, and then pointing to lower down. That's it, wrapping the glute and lift. Let's check in with the ribs. Make sure those ribs are closing. Yeah, that's it, bottom waistline is lifted. Shoulders are down, making sure that top shoulder, Victoria, just slide that back shoulder. Yeah, there you go, that's it. Nice, Marnie, good. And reaching through that heel, point the foot, find more length as you lower. Option to take that free arm up if you'd like. Good. Wrapping the glute before we lift. Bottom leg nice and stable. We'll go for 3, 2, and last one. Great, let's bring that into our clam. So you're gonna bend your knees so your heels are in line with your sit bones. Squeezing those heels together, lifting the knees up, the top knee up, sorry. As the top knee is lifting, make sure your top hip is rolling forward. Ribs are closed, low abs are lifted, shoulders are down the back, head is in line with your spine. When we're lying on our side, sometimes that head likes to shoot forward, so just make sure it's drawing back. Wrapping that glute before we lift. We're gonna do that one more time, then we're gonna do the pulse. So lift the knee up, now just release ever so slightly, and we're just gonna do the end range, pulsing it. That's it, still keeping those hips nice and stacked. Good, hollowing in through those low abs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1. Getting ready for our side bridge. We're gonna come up onto our bottom forearm, shoulders over the elbow, ribs are closed. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna lift the hips up and inhale to lower it down. That's it, think about that bottom hip lifting into the top. Good, and then lower. Really coming out of that bottom shoulder, okay? Use the underarm muscle there. If you're looking for a little bit more, please feel free to come into a side plank, even for a few. That's a great option. You can always take that free hand and place it down onto the mat in front of you as well. Good. Keeping those ribs closed. Good. Keeping the core engaged. Nice. Good. And we'll do that for 4. Good. 3, that's it, keep pulling your elbow under you. Good, and then coming all the way down. Awesome, okay guys, our next position is gonna be a seated position. So come to a seated position, bending the knees, and place your hands behind your hamstrings so you can just lift up a little bit taller. We're just gonna start with some half roll backs. That's it. So we're gonna inhale, sit up nice and tall onto those sit bones. And then exhale, you're gonna start with your imprint. So you're gonna start to tuck your pelvis under as you roll it back, keeping the head in line with the spine. And then inhale to roll forward, round over those thighs and sequence up. Starting with the pelvis, you're gonna tuck the pelvis under, rolling it back. Good, scooping in those abdominals and then bringing it forward and lift. Just make sure, guys, that those shoulders are staying down. Yeah, that's better, that's better. Good. And as you're rolling back, you imagine those sit bones are reaching towards the backs of the knees. Trying our best to plant our feet down here, keep those feet grounded. Good. And finishing your last one off here. Now we're gonna roll it back. Go somewhere where you can hold, okay? Good, just check out your position here. Make sure those ribs are knitting down and together. And then from there, you're gonna lift both arms up towards the ceiling. Good, and then lower them back down just to shoulder height. Now, as the arms are lifting, we wanna keep those ribs knitting down and together. What we're watching for as those arms are lifting, we don't wanna pop the chest open here. That's it. Nice. Good. Scooping in those abdominals, hollowing in the abdominals, and let's not forget about the glutes here as well, guys. Can we think about wrapping those glutes, kind of hugging them together? That will help with the hip flexors, okay? If you're kind of getting into the hip flexors there. Let's do it one more time. You're gonna lift those arms up and you're gonna hold the arms. You're gonna hold it there, hollowing in those low abs. Hold the arms there for 2 and for 1. Good, and then scooping it forward. Good, and then sequencing tall. Go ahead and straighten the legs out all the way if you can, stretching the arms forward. We're gonna come into a spine stretch. So we'll inhale, exhale, head nod. You're gonna round yourself forward, and then sequencing yourself back up to a nice neutral spine. Good, start with the head nod, rounding forward. Bring the arms forward, scooping the abdominals back. Watch the shoulders don't creep up towards the ears. That's it. And then stacking back up through the spine. Thank you. Good. Now we want to keep the weight in the center of the sit bones. That's it, as we're bringing it forward. Good. That's it. Try not to let the pelvis sink back. We'll do that one more time, and let's hold our last one here. So you're going to round it forward, and you're just going to hold it there. Let your arms even come heavy by your sides. That's it. Hold it there for 2 and for 1. Good. Sequencing on up. We're going to bend those knees again. Arms are straight forward. We're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale. We're going to round it back. Rotate towards the right and reach that right arm back as far as you can. And inhale to sit up tall onto those sit bones as we lift back up again. That's it. That's it. And rotate, reaching back. Reach towards that arm. That's it. That's it, Tara. Good. And then lifting tall onto those sit bones. Tara, just bring your feet a little bit more forward, Tara. Yeah. That's better. Give yourself some more room. Perfect. That's it. Good. Got some extra weight. Oh, how cute, Steph. Awesome. Good. Feel free to go a little bit further back. Think about reaching towards the back corner of your mat. Reach. And we'll do one more. That's it. Or if you have to do even yourself out, guys, please feel free to do another one. We're going to come into our mermaid. So let's bring your right leg in front, left leg back. Side bend over towards that right leg, placing your right hand down. That's it. From there, we're just going to twist the spine here, guys. So you're going to rotate the spine, threading the needle. Good. And then unwind and lifting the arm up towards the ceiling. This is uncomfortable in your hips in any way, guys. Please feel free to cross your legs. Come into a cross-legged position instead. That's it. And try your best to have equal weight in the hips. You got it. That's it. Rotating that spine. Find that scoop of the abdominals. Good, and lift. Victoria, bring your right hand, bottom hand forward just a little bit. There you go. Yeah, perfect. That's it. Sandra, think about rotating more from your ribs. More from your ribs. Yeah, less from your shoulders. That's it. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's switch over to the other side. Swinging yourself around, trying to get the anchoring into the hips. That's it. Mary, try to bring your front foot forward a little bit more if you can, Mary. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that one. Perfect. Yeah, is that okay? Good. That's it. Good. Making sure that your shoulder isn't rolling. That's it. It looks like it's frozen here. Oh. That's it. Perfect. Good. That's it. And just really using this to rotate and move through our spine. That's it. Good. Marnie, try to anchor your right hip back down again a little bit. If you, yeah. There you go. That's it. Good. And lift. Let's get one more in here. That's it. Good. Really pull that right rib forward. Good. I know, it's so cute. That. Doing great, Steph. Good, and lift. Okay, guys, we're gonna come back onto your backs, okay? So we're gonna bend the knees, and we're gonna take our hands behind the head. We're gonna interlace our fingers here. Yeah, good. There's no picture here. Okay, so you're gonna take your hands behind the head. We're gonna inhale. We're gonna exhale. We're gonna come up into an ab curl and hold. Yeah, Tara, lie down onto your back. Yeah, and then come into an ab curl. Bring your legs up into tabletop. Squeeze the thighs together. Good, your legs are just gonna stay in tabletop. You're gonna inhale, you're gonna lower yourself down from your ab curl and then exhale to curl up again. So we're just keeping our legs in tabletop and we're gonna do our ab curl here. Now, option, you can either bring your head all the way down in between or halfway down, just depending on how it's feeling for you. That's it. Keep wrapping those shoulders. Let's do one more here. Good. And then coming all the way down with the head. And then let's bring our left foot down towards the floor.
So I'm not sure what's happening.
Sorry, we're not sure what's happening, but I'm going to keep going. You're going to come into your ab curl. Your right leg is in tabletop. We're going to inhale. You're going to exhale. You're just going to straighten your right leg forward, like single leg stretch, and then inhale to bend that right knee. So you're going to stay in your ab curl. Mary, can you curl up into your ab curl there? There you go. That's it. And you're just going to stay in your ab curl as you bend and straighten that right leg. At any time you need a break, please feel free to bring that head down, okay? That's it. Good. Sandra, bring your elbows a little bit narrower. Yeah, towards one another. There you go. Good. That's it. Nice. All right, let's do one more with the right leg. Awesome. Bring your head down for a break. And now we're going to lift our left leg up into tabletop and you're going to come back into your ab curl. That's it. Now find equal weight in the hips as we bend and straighten through that left leg. Keep knitting those ribs down and together as you keep curling up and over. That's it. Equal weight in the pelvis. Good. Scooping those abdominals. Great. That's it. Tara, see if you can curl up a little bit higher if you can. Yeah. There you go. That's it, Mary. Keep wrapping those shoulders around the ribs. Perfect, Loie. Good. Nice. All right, guys. Keep that left hip grounded. Here we go for a few more. That's it. Good. For 4. Keep reaching that leg towards the wall in front of you. 2. Nice. Last one there. Good. And lowering all the way down. Arms long by your side. Slide those heels underneath of your knees. We're going to inhale. Exhale. You're going to push down into your feet. Lift your hips up into your bridge. And then inhale to tap the pelvis down and exhale to lift. So we're going to do this in our neutral. That's it. Hinging the hips down, really reach the sit bones long. And I'm just going to give you a modification here if you'd like to take it. So you can take your arms up to 90, which will give you a little bit more of a challenge. And again, to add in a little bit more of a challenge on top of that, you can rise up onto the balls of the feet so the heels are lifted. The video won't be showing those options, but please feel free to do that if you'd like. That's it. Keep wrapping those inner thighs down towards the floor as the outer thighs are lifting up towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. And we're all going to meet with our hips up in our bridge position and our heels are planted. Now from here, let's step into your right foot and lift your left leg up into tabletop and then place the foot down and alternate. So we're doing our marching bridge here. Again, we can lift those arms up to 90 if you'd like. That's it. Or not. So we're alternating going side to side here. And really think about rooting down in towards the foot that's onto the floor before you lift. Check in with those ribs. Keep those ribs closed. That's it. Good. So you can lift those arms up if you choose. But really the goal here is to keep the pelvis level so it's not tipping from side to side. One more each side here, guys. Planting the foot down. Last one, and then taking the hips all the way down. Walk those feet forward. Take your hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. Come up into your ab curl and pause. Lift up into your tabletop, one leg at a time. Good, keeping the legs still. And we're gonna come up into our ab curl and then lower all the way down. Knitting those ribs down and together. Good. Think of the pelvis staying still, the legs staying still as you're curling up. If you're noticing tension in your neck, wrap those shoulders a little bit more. Really reach through those elbows. Good. One more time, you're gonna curl it up and we're gonna hold the ab curl here. Keep knitting those ribs down and together, scooping in the abdominals. We'll hold the ab curl for 3, 2, and for 1. Good. And then lowering all the way down onto the floor. Widen the feet, the width of your mat, and stretch your arms out to your T position. We're going to inhale and exhale. You're going to let both knees drop to the right as you look over your left shoulder. Inhale to bring it back to center, and exhale to let those knees drop to the left as you bring the gaze over the right shoulder. Good. We're just going to go from side to side here, twisting through the spine, connecting into your breath as you inhale. Feel those ribs expand 3-dimensionally. Think front ribs, side ribs, and back. And as you exhale, allow the weight of your torso to sink heavy. The next one you do, let's just keep the legs towards that side. We're just going to hold this position. If you want a little bit more, yeah, we're just going to hold this position. I know the video is going side to side, but we're just going to hold to one side. If you would like, you can stack your legs. Good. And then we'll switch to the other side. You can stack your legs here if that's comfortable for your low back. And just holding the position, letting the weight of the legs be heavy towards the floor. Again, connecting into your breath, breathing into those side ribs. Let the arms be heavy towards the floor. Take one more deep breath here. And then we're going to float your knees back to center. You're going to hug your right thigh in towards your chest and take both hands on top of that knee or behind the thigh. So just start to circle that leg around. If you'd like, you can straighten your left leg long onto your mat if that feels good. Just massaging your hip socket with your thigh. Do one more in this direction and then just switch the direction of the circles. That's it. Press down into your thigh here a little bit. Pressing that thigh bone down deep into the back of the hip. Connecting into your breath as you inhale. And exhale to soften the ribs down towards the floor. One more here. And then we'll place that right foot down. Lift your left knee up. Good. Interlace the fingers either behind the thigh or onto the knee. Circling the thigh around the hip socket. Option to extend if you'd like. And really encourage your arms to do this action. So your arms are circling your thigh around. Your thigh is passive. One more in this direction. Switching direction. Noticing your stabilizing hip here. Try to keep it as anchored as possible towards the floor, so we can really allow that thigh bone to move around the hip socket, releasing any tension in the hip. Good. For 3, 2, yeah, good, and release. Let's lift our, bend both knees and lift your right foot up and interlace it with your left. So cross it over your left thigh there. We're coming into a figure 4 stretch here. So you can press that right thigh away. You can hold right here if that feels good, or you can lift that left leg up and interlace the fingers there behind the thigh. Good. Now let's think about the tailbone reaching long here. So we want to make sure that your tailbone is stretching long on your mat. That's it. And you have equal weight in the pelvis. Good. You can use that right forearm to press that right thigh away. Yeah. There. That's it. That's it. Good. And keep wrapping the glutes here. Let's hold it here. Yep. Flex both feet here, guys. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. Good. One more deep breath. Awesome. And we'll go to the other side. So placing both feet down, being very mindful of our knees here as you lift your left leg up, crossing the ankle. That's it. Or your opposite leg. Yeah. Good. Press your thigh away. Make sure you feel comfortable there before lifting your leg up if you choose. Flex both feet. Stretch that tailbone long onto your mat. Feeling weight in your pelvis. Check in with the shoulders, keeping those shoulders down the back. Connecting into your breath, taking a nice deep inhale, feeling those ribs expand. Exhale, keep pulling your right thigh towards you, left thigh away. And we'll hold here for 3, 2, and for 1. Hug both knees in towards your chest and extend your legs long onto your mat. Stretch the arms up and above your head. Just give yourself a nice long stretch. That's it. Good. And release. Good work, guys. And we are all done.